What's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Pepe. Last one of the day. I promise you that. I'm gonna tell a paranormal story here, which again, kind of, if you watch my last video about the psychic, it kind of, I kind of debunked that a lot. But let's talk about something genuinely paranormal that happened to me in the vein of like something that is beyond a ghost story. Like I went to a haunted house and saw a ghost. So let me take you back to New Jersey, in Flagtown, New Jersey, on New Year's Eve, 2019. A bunch of our friends, we were really close. My friend Emily threw a party at her house. And this was like, there was a lot of core people. There weren't a lot of like, it was really like the core group of us, maybe probably about anywhere from like 16 to 20 of us. I forget exactly how many people were there. And we were, it was going into the year 2020. Now we had, she had a party. Great, a lot of food, a lot of, like they had like, there was like a keg, wine, shots, this and that, desserts. We were watching the ball drop, so we were all having a good time. And the theme of the party was the 2020s, which was a throwback. So the theme of the theme of the party was the 1920s, the Roaring 20s. Like with like so the girls dressed up like the Charleston. We had like like the bow ties on the guys and everything. So and the theory behind it was, okay, the 1920s were awesome. It was the Roaring 20s. America was doing great. We were prospering. So the 2020s are going to be just as great too. So, it was a literal and metaphorical theme of the night of like, yo, it's the 2020s. Let's party. And the theme of the night, not only throughout that, I mean, we got there maybe around like 7 o'clock at night, and we were partying until midnight, and we were pumped for the 2020s. Me and my friends, we were like this is not up for debate. Like we were talking about 2020 is going to be an awesome year. It's going to be amazing. We were doing shots to 2020. We were talking about the winter was coming up. Oh, we could take ski trips here in the winter. In the summer, we could rent like lake houses, beach houses. We can go on fishing trips. We could all just go on these convoys. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be one of the best years and the best decades ever, because the 1920s were great. The 2020s are going to be awesome too. So literally it was the whole night. The theme was just like looking forward to the future. And we all had great jobs. We were all really, I mean, some of us, we were still basically living at home. I was 27 at the time. We were all between the ages of maybe like 25 to 30. So I was kind of right in the middle of that. But it wasn't ideal living with our parents, but, we were looking onwards and upwards. We were looking forward to the future and like our lives together and our friendships and everything like that. So it was a positive night through and through. Around 11:50, hey, we're in the basement, we're playing beer pong, we're playing games or this and that. We're all hanging out, listening to music, and we're not like getting rowdy or anything, but it was an awesome time. It was great. And hey, the ball's about to drop. So we all go upstairs and we're watching, I think it's on NBC or ABC or something. And, like the announcers are on, and we're looking forward to a new decade. And we're like, to 2020, we're cheering. We got the banners up 2020. We're all in on it. It was a great night, great time, the perfect people there. Like no one from like it, it was like everyone knew each other really well. Everyone was getting along. Great night. 11:55 comes. Okay. 5 minutes left. You're starting to get, you're starting to look forward to it. You're starting to get close. Like, here we go. New year, it's New Year's. All right, so 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 2020, ball drops. We're there, happy. We're all hugging each other. We're like, come here, buddy, come here, girl. Like we're all just like, we're in. Now this was, so, I mean, ball drops, everything's great, everything's good. Probably around 12:20, I actually had work the next day, which I was one of the few people who had. Everyone else had off. I had to be in from like 9 to like 1. I only had a half day of work, but I had to be up early. So we're all kind of in Emily's foyer. and some people are people aren't leaving yet, but people are kind of start to be like, all right, like we'll see each other next weekend, get home safe kind of thing. I was one of the first ones to leave. So it's probably around 12:30, half hour into the year 2020. I open the door out to go outside. And as I'm walking out the door, something happened. Now, I'm not going to say what happened. And I'm not doing this for dramatic effect. I'm doing it for a couple reasons. One, because it was quick. This thing that happened, it's hard to explain. It was really quick, really fast. It's unexplainable, not in the sense of it was paranormal. Let me put it this way: it wasn't paranormal in the act, in the thing that happened. It would be like if I picked up this guitar, like that's a thing that happened. That's not a paranormal thing. But what happened was unexplainable, and it came out of nowhere. It didn't make a scene, but everyone noticed it. And it was for one split second, like we were in the Twilight Zone. Like we were in, like the party just turned into a weird acid trip for like a split second, and then we were back. Something happened, and I was walking out the door, happy 2020, cheerful holiday mood, on the drop of a hat, on the drop of a dime. I'm opening the door, and I turn around because this thing happened, and I turn around, and my heart sinks into my chest. And I was already in stride. And by the time I looked back, it was almost over. That's how quick it was. And it's a hard thing to explain. And it's also kind of personal between me and the people that happened. So for me to just blurt out what happened is a little insensitive. So I'm not doing this for dramatic effect, but something happened in Emily's foyer as I was walking out the door that was not right. That was just really bizarre. And again, it was a split second thing. And I was in such stride that like I turned around, my heart sinking into my chest and just being like, that I kept going and shut the door behind me. And that whole night, I was in a warm house with all my friends in a great environment, joyful holiday cheer. And in a split second in the year 2020, around 12:30 at night, something happened, and next thing you know, I was on a dark, cold porch in the freezing cold, alone, shivering because it was freezing out. Walking back to my car, looking over my shoulder like I had just seen a ghost. It really. I remember sitting in my car. I got back to my car. I walked across the street. I got in my car. And I just remember looking back at the house, at this thing that happened literally while I was on the way out the door. And I was annoyed. I was pissed off a little bit, as most people probably were, as to this thing that happened as I was leaving. But I was more scared than anything. Like it almost was like a cloud was coming over me. Like I was looking over my shoulder, like the whole mood shifted 180 degrees. Like something's coming. Like I didn't know what it was, but like I kind of like almost grabbed myself and just kind of was like doing this, and kind of like I felt a really dark energy coming over me and coming over the house and coming over the year of 2020, and it just, I couldn't explain it, but that thing freaked me out. And it really scared me. And I just remember sitting in my car for a couple minutes, waiting for my car to warm up, just looking over my shoulder, like something's coming. Like I just remember thinking, like, that's a really weird way to start off the year of 2020, and a really dark way to start off the year of 2020. All things considering, the whole night, we were cheersing to 2020 and looking forward to 2020. And it was a really, like, there was something internal and external paranormal about it that just kind of sunk into me. And that incident just really freaked me out. And I just was like, this isn't good. Like, is this an omen? I kind of thought it was at the time. Like maybe things are about to go sour. I drive home and I wake up the next morning. I go to work and I'm like, you know what? That was weird, but hey, it was a fun party. We still got the whole year to look forward to. Here's to 2020. I still was optimistic. But then a week or two goes by, and you hear the stock market is not doing good. In the new decade in 2020, you hear some bad things here and there. All of a sudden, Kobe Bryant's. I'm a huge basketball fan. We all were. Kobe Bryant's plane crashed. A day after LeBron James just talked him up, giving an interview about how special he was to him. This and that happens. The economy's not doing good. Then you hear about this coronavirus in China that's coming to the United States. Next thing you know, everything's shut down. Next thing you know, me and my friends, we all lose our jobs because of the virus. And it's just one thing after another after another. And what pursued was 2020 being one of the worst year of our lives in a lot of ways. And it was a lot of dark. We all lost our jobs. Most of us did. Most of us didn't even get them back. I didn't. And you just like, it was one thing after another after another after another. And it just, what pursued was one of the worst years probably in American history. I think 2020, it's fair to say, is probably one of the worst years in the world, probably, especially in our lives, in America's lives. It was terrible. A lot of tragedy. And I'm not trying to get too sentimental here, but that thing that happened on that night, while I was literally walking out the door, I almost feel like it was the universe. It was a paranormal thing. It was like the universe trying to tell us, like, no, 2020 is not going to be what you think it is. Like, if you think this was weird, the thing that I'm not going to tell you, this quick thing that happened, if you thought that was bad and weird, get ready, prepare yourself, because you guys have been talking up 2020 and this new decade for the past 7 hours. It's been 20 minutes since the ball dropped, and I'm telling you right now, it's like the universe was telling us, like, no. And it wasn't just the thing that happened. I genuinely felt, and along with my friends too, a lot of them felt like there was something otherworldly going on there. And that's the type of thing where I'm talking about, where like there was no ghost, there was no paranormal thing in the sense of like, oh, this thing is like this is scientifically unexplainable. It was paranormal in the sense of like something happened in the midst of counteracting what we were trying to, and it just hit home with us, and we all were freaked out. And I think it was like, it was almost like a beast was born on that night, and that was like the first bell to ring, where it was just like this beast was like, this like paranormal beast was just like gonna mess with us and gonna keep messing with us. And I think it's still probably alive. All right. But yeah, no, that's just another example or that's just an example of paranormal things that have happened to me in my life. And again, it's like, you're not going to like the haunted house where this bride hung herself on her wedding night to see a white ghost in a sheet or something. The universe, there's more paranormal things than that. And I think that that's the example I just gave you and the story I just told is genuine. And I can't even, I'm trying to describe how real it was and how much it hit us. That 180, it was like a punch to the face, where it was like, Happy New Year. What just happened? And like, so unexplainable, so out of left field. Anyway, Planet Pepe. This again, I know this is gonna be my last paranormal video for a while, but it is an off-while upload. I'm gonna go back to music, but I don't know what possessed me, no pun intended, to do this, but today. But yeah. Anyway, Planet Pepe, everyone. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.